This sign was a serious sign. Israel versus Iran. Both are eyes, and this is serious. Now, Israel went into the Middle East after the Second World War. I mean, Hitler really beat them up. And so the point of this video here, though, is that I'm just wondering whether Israel is qualified to start a war for America, because America is avoiding and trying to negotiate with, or to see that Iran will stop its nuclear activities, probably without war. We saw where the Straits of Hormuz threat to be blockaded by Iran was met with force, but still negotiations are on the way, or happen to avoid the head-on collision, because nobody wins in wars, and especially in these troubling times, to have a serious war. I mean, when the world economy is in trouble, I mean, this is a serious problem. And I'm not sure whether there aren't other ways that Iran could be made to understand that, you know, this nuclear ambition and pursuit is kind of like not productive. However, while America is avoiding, it seems, any wars right now, the president said that the first time for a long time there was no active war going on. So for Israel to go and start a war for America, it's like they're trying to get America into the Middle East in a big way. I mean, with Bush, he was able to go on the crusades through Afghanistan and Iran, and we see what happened, Iraq, and we see what happened up there. And if he had some time, he would go through to Iran too. However, Obama asked them not to go ahead with this Iran thing. Let them see what they could do to, you know, get Iran, you know, on the same page. However, as I'm seeing that the Middle East is a place where many empires have had a serious problem. I guess that's why Greece lost, because maybe they were trying to, you know, fight with the Arabs. These people of God said going to be indomitable and uncontrollable and wild. So when Babylon knocked off, Babylon knocked off Egypt, and perhaps introduced Islam to Egypt, I guess, or Iran introduced it to Babylon and to Egypt after they became power. But you see, Iran and Afghanistan, Iran and Iraq were, Babylon and Medo Persia, they were superpowers. They were the empires in the past, and then Greece came on and you know, was able to win. And I don't think Greece went into the Middle East there. I think as Iran went across to fight, and they had these ships. I think the Greeks built a double storied one, so with two sets of rows, hid in the cove or in the bay or whatever. So when the Iranians came in, I understand they rammed them and sank them, and maybe from there they were able to win, but they don't seem to have gone into the Middle East to do a campaign. And then, of course, Rome beat Greece, and then Germany beat Rome. But I think that, you know, somebody's trying to get America into this Middle East place. We see where the Soviet Union, before they collapsed, they were trying to support Najib in Afghanistan. And, you know, to supply people up there is tough. I mean, you can imagine the Crusades. You're going to fight in Egypt, and you got to pass through all these places, and every way is a fight right through. Fight going and fight coming back. I mean, you might start off with 10,000 men, and end up just going back with 40 or something like that. And it was terrible. So I don't know how this one is going to end, but the enemy is trying to get America in there. They tried it with the Spring Revolution. They tried it with they're trying it with the Syrian problem. See, the UN is trying to start a war. They know the UN. I don't know who authorized the UN or tell the UN to start wars, and then have no army to go fight. They send people to die over there. And so Israel and the UN and some other people they seem to be bent on creating wars for America. And I think America should be able to make its own war, because when they can't get you, in other words, it's like somebody, the government trying to set me up so they could lock me up. And when it comes to me directly, it's not working. So what I do is get some woman to come in my life, or some guys that I'm hanging around with, to do something she gonna call rape or domestic violence or something like that. And so it got me there. Or them guys gonna be having drugs and guns, and I've robbed somebody down the road, and it could be construed that I'm a part of the conspiracy. Or in the time when they have all these drugs and so on, they even put it by me and say it's mine and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's a roundabout way of getting here. And I think that they're trying a whole bunch of roundabout ways to get America into the war. But I think America should resist it, fervently, and avoid any wars ever again, possibly. Or at least this one is Iran. Keep working at it, keep talking, keep, doing other things than going to war, because I think that the ultimate war is to happen. And, the ultimate in Spanish means the almost is the last. It's right there, just where everything's over. And, we have things that we need to work on, those jobs and so forth, economy and otherwise, and so on. So I think that Israel shouldn't be making wars for America. But, I often try to figure, like, why Israel went into the Middle East. And maybe I'll leave that for another video if I'm going to ever make that, because I don't want problems anymore with that. But I don't think Israel should be making a war for America.